Hello everyone, it's Andrew Cox from PropertySafe and Maintenance Manager. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. This is our final presentation session for the Chia Conference. Hope you've had a great session. Obviously you'll be finishing off a little bit after this. We've done 4 sessions over the last couple of days. And we've done that twice. One is around maintenance management and workflow solutions. The next one we did around integrated inspections. Then we had a session on simplified asset forecasting, and now we're going to talk about outsourced inspection solutions. It's sort of unfair, and it's not really, I suppose, it isn't that fair that property managers and asset managers are often making decisions and having to identify safety hazards in properties that sometimes are not qualified to identify. So what we have is a range of inspection outcomes produced by professional inspectors who are the PropertySafe team, who are trained in and qualified for professional inspections, which could either be around safety, could be around asset forecasting, or a whole range of other things that we can inspect for and do some custom inspections as well. So I've got a screen over here, which I'll be looking slightly this way, but essentially what we do is provide the opportunity to outsource inspections to Australia's only national independent safety and asset inspection reporting service, which is PropertySafe. Now, we often do part of a provider's portfolio. Like we might find that someone has, a community housing provider has their own team in a certain area and then can't access the regions, and we can fill in there, especially with COVID, moving people around is quite hard. We generally have inspectors all around the country and can sort of help you in most areas with varying types of inspections, which I'm going to show you some of. Outcomes for part or all of your portfolio, a bit of a typo there, sorry. And the inspections are very affordable and customizable. That's probably the first thing to look at as well. The other, one of the challenges with any inspection that people get done is often the inspection sits over here, but then there's nothing integrated. So you've got to then recreate and retype and refocus on things after the inspection's been done. So what we've done is built an integrated solution for inspections. And even if you're using one of our own apps, like I showed earlier today, our asset inspection app yourself, it's all integrated back into a dashboard, so you don't have to retype anything. And exactly the same applies when we do outsourced inspections for our customers. We give you a dashboard to look at this. So it loads up with photos, loads up the PDF report. You can often export the results into Excel, and then it also provides you a full PDF report and integration of maintenance back in as well. So it's a complete solution, whether we're doing the inspection or you're doing it yourself with our technology within our ecosystem of software solutions. So we offer safety, compliance, and asset component option reports, or a mixture of all 3 or more. We've also in the past done pest inspections and a whole bunch of things. What we're trying to do at the moment as a business and as a solution for the sector is minimise the amount of visits to the property, especially around COVID times. Tenants are often quite nervous. So if we can provide you an inspection service that has multiple results from a single visit, there's less impact on your tenants, there's less organisation, and it just generally finds you save a lot of money because you're not sending. There's a lot of in inspection world, a lot of the sunk cost is in the transport to get to the property. So if you're going back there 3 and 4 times, you're paying for transport 3 or 4 times. That's transporting the inspector and cost of vehicles, etc. So if we can provide you a combined solution for multiple inspection types on the same time, costs a little bit more to get it done the first time, but then you save all that money not having to send 4 people there. So it sort of makes sense. And the other thing is reducing risk to your organisation, because we're professional safety inspectors, as an example. Your team are generally not necessarily professional safety inspectors. So what we do is offer outsourced services. Hello, everyone joining in. Offer outsourced services for varying types of organisations or government or whatever need we're required for. So we've just finished, as an example, a round of 970 inspections nationally for a disability provider. It was quite a detailed inspection. There was lots involved in that. We just did another 1,000 or so for asset inspections for another provider in the last few months. So we've got high capacity to do volume reports all around the country. And so we'll have a look now at the product sort of summary. We're just focusing here on PropertySafe inspections and reports. That's the outsourced service that we offer our customers. And there we've been doing safety inspections for over 8 years, and we are the only national provider that provides residential safety, professional safety inspections with integrated software that all works together. So it's really finding those things and helping our customers understand their properties better, look at safety hazards in the properties, and then provide realistic and practical solutions for getting these things repaired or getting them fixed, or prioritizing the outcomes of the house. Most people would be horrified and amazed when they look at, say, we do 100 safety reports. 95% of houses will have at least one safety hazard, and I think the statistic we had was, I have to check it exactly, but it was over 30% have a major hazard, which is potentially a life-threatening hazard. So it is very, very serious, and there's a lot of pressure and responsibility incumbent on providers and social housing providers in being sort of stepping into the shoes of the landlord often to do these inspections. So you can outsource that risk to us. We're fully insured naturally for PI for up to around $20 million PI insurance between us and the inspectors. Okay, so let's have a look at so PropertySafe. As you mentioned, we help provide. So one of our reporting services is safety, which we're looking at here. And when the inspection is completed, as I mentioned before, everything's integrated back into a dashboard, an online dashboard, so nothing gets missed. Because that's the other thing with the inspections. If you get a PDF report, someone's got to retype all that in to action things, and that's often where things get missed. Could be a safety hazard, the tenant gets hurt, and then that's not a very good outcome. From the detail of what a PropertySafe inspection offers you, you can see here quite a lot of things. But that's the standard PropertySafe inspection is around from around $289, including GST, and that's all over the country. If it's a very low volume of reports in a regional area, sometimes there's a travel loading, but that would be that for your own staff if you were sending them there as well. So we talk about what a safety report does. It basically splits the hazards, the identified hazards, into life-threatening. If it's life-threatening and we're there, we will ring you and exit the tenant straight away. If there's a major gas leak in the house, naturally we would be doing that under obligation. But then we categorise risk: very high, moderate, and low risk. And then it's like a matrix. You can then prioritise your rectification of those in some sort of plan. But you can see here the sort of things we cover: buildings, glass, slip, trip, fall, electrical hazards. And this has now moved into more of your compliance. If we find something there, we'll let you know the risk, how to eliminate it, alert, modify, etc. And all of these have different cost outcomes. Sometimes we cost them up for our customers, other times we don't. And then we've just been through that slide already. And then we've now moved into, as you would know, in New South Wales and in Victoria, safety inspections are mandated for landlords. Not that every community housing provider is under that legislation in terms of Residential Tenancies Act. However, we now offer across in Victoria and in New South Wales reports that are compliance reports to satisfy the obligations of the Residential Tenancies Act, and offer you a complete reporting service for these. On top of in these new reports in Victoria, you've got general building matters, and which is the sort of fit for building fit for habitation, and then you've got your electrical and you've got your gas. So our inspection reporting service in Victoria offers our customers a whole range of inspection outcomes. One is we can just do you a compliance report for the building matters, which is there. You can see fit for habitation report. Sorry, this is New South Wales. In Victoria, it's called a safer home evaluation relative to the new legislation in Victoria, Reform 38, which went through last March this year. And we can do compliance reports, tell you if it's compliant or non-compliant. But on top of that, in the same visit, we can also bring in the electrician and the plumber to minimise the number of people attending the house. Massively important during times like COVID, and that I don't think it's going away anytime soon. Obvious evidence by us all sitting at home at this conference. But so what we can do is in one visit send out the electrician, the gas fitter, and also the builder to get the report done in one to mitigate the impact on the tenant as well. Okay, we've only got about 5 minutes left. We also offer outsourced, as I mentioned, asset inspection services to our customers, and mentioned we've just done a whole round of almost 1,000 reports for one provider, national provider across the country in the last few months. And what that does is, if we're doing an asset inspection report for you, and that what we mean by asset inspection is, in this specific case here, is componentry. We're measuring the life, the remaining life of componentry. So it could be a kitchen, has it got a 5-year life or 10-year, etc. And then we can rate those components for you. We can make it quite detailed or quite summarized, depending on how your own asset management structure is desired to work. And I'll just show you sort of what that sort of looks like. So basically, we do a report, it produces an output. This is just a blank, but I think you'll get the picture. You can see there, meters squared, rating, comments, etc. All the photographs are completely documented, and everything we do produces both a PDF report and an online dashboard for you to look at it. So you get the choice of the two. And the system can email reports automatically to various people after we've finished inspections and finalised them. If you then, one of the beauties of what we do is whenever we find a hazard or we find a maintenance issue, if we're doing asset reports or a PropertySafe report with hazards, this is all loaded back onto a dashboard for you. So you've got easy actioning and processing of the things that have been identified. But not only is it just go onto the dashboard, it's categorized by risk category. So if it's a major item, it'll cycle faster and let it go red faster if no one's done it. So, and if it's an emergency item, it'll go a different color in the system as well and say, hey, here's an emergency. So much, and the systems are so advanced that from emergency jobs that are often lodged here, if you've got that set up in Maintenance Manager and using the platform, that can auto allocate work orders to tradies if you forget to do it even. I mean, this is how advanced this software and the solutions we have are around integrated inspections. So we do an inspection output. You look at, so this is the maintenance identified in the inspection and off an asset inspection. We then can produce an output. You can load that up into any BI tool or asset planning tool you use, or you could use a free planning tool that we include with our app, which is a 10-year forecasting tool, inflation adjusted, very robust. You can't break it, and it's built in Excel, so anyone can use it. Okay, which is really nice. So you can see here, we can go and do, as an example, you've got a 10-year plan set up here with some estimates. You set up your estimates to begin with. What does it cost to do things, and when do you think you're going to do them? And then as you do your inspections, and we integrate those results out after our inspections are finished, you can simply point and shoot, throw this into your 10-year plan, press the update button, and your whole 10-year plan or 20-year plan or whatever you've got will be adjusted for you based off our inspectors finishing inspections. So now this tool comes, if you want to do this yourself, your own asset planning, we've got some awesome tools, the Maintenance Manager location app, linked in with Maintenance Manager, which you can use yourself and have your team do, or a combination thereof. So you might say, I can do mine in metropolitan Melbourne, but I've got no capacity for New South Wales or Tasmania or Queensland, or just in the regions in Victoria, and we can engage with you on a full or part basis to inspect any part of your portfolio for pretty much whatever you want, whether it's safety, whether it's asset, or whether it's a custom type inspection. We did for one provider, we did 150 return to work COVID plans for their offices as an example, and we analysed their offices and did floor plans, and that was a unique custom inspection type that they would have struggled to do themselves because of the sheer distance from the offices from each other. And we were able to do that in, I think it was less than 5 weeks. We did 150 offices. Some of them we did with remote technology as well. So we've got some pretty advanced things. Okay, so that's pretty much what we do. If we're using the forecast plan, it produces a full 10-year plan for you. Love to have a chat to you around inspections and around how we can help you streamline process, reduce the risk to your own staff and organisation of missing something, which is a big issue. If you don't know the deck boards are rotting and someone falls through them, property managers have obligations to inform tenants about unsafe things in homes. That's been known for a long time. There's been enough very sad coroner's recommendations around the need for safety reporting. Decks in Queensland with the Diefenbach inquiry, which was 8 years ago now, suggesting decks get inspected and things. So we can help you with a range of different things, and would love the opportunity to talk to you about your organisation's needs. My number is on the screen there, Andrew Cox. You can call me directly on 0418 652822. My email address there, communityhousing@propertysafe.com.au. And that looks like the end of 15 minutes and the end of our presentations at the Chair Conference. I'd just like to thank everyone for the opportunity of presenting at the sessions to you today. It's been great, and we've had some great engagement over the last 2 days, and we can see that the sector is crying out for efficient solutions that have risk mitigation outcomes. Everyone wants better customer service, and everything we do, whether it's software, whether it's inspections, etc., it all has an element of touches each of those things. So, huge efficiencies means you can divert your resources back to care rather than inefficiency, which is a nice outcome for the sector and better care outcomes. From a customer service perspective, significantly better communication, letting people know when things are happening, tenants, etc., keeping your tradies under control with trade verification services we offer with Maintenance Manager, and then the other part, the other part is really the sort of risk mitigation side and keeping audit trails and making sure that your organisation is best protected against claims, and also and also keeping your tenants safe in your homes. I mean, we're here about care, and if we can reduce injuries to tenants in unsafe houses, I think everyone would agree that that's probably one of the best outcomes we can have. So I appreciate your time today, and thank you very much for attending. Enjoy the rest of the conference this afternoon, and we will look forward to chatting to you in the very near future. Okay, thanks very much. Bye-bye.